Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My video today is one of my typical what I eat in a day videos, but it's a little different from anything I've done in the past because as you know, I'm dealing with a neurological condition, so everything that I eat is in line with the naturopathic treatment that I'm taking at the moment. So with that, let's begin today's video. So my first meal of the day typically starts at around 7 o'clock, and around this time I've been advised to drink a glass of ashgard juice. A lot of doctors that I consulted actually mentioned drinking this because it really helps in cleansing the body. In fact, I've also watched about this on a channel called Sattvic Movement, and I was very intrigued by the idea. I never knew what this vegetable was, but I have been having this juice ever since. So what I do is I just cut up the vegetable and I put it in the blender with a little bit of water, and then I strain it out and I have my juice ready in about 5 minutes of time. This is absolutely tasteless, it's not bitter at all, so I don't mind drinking it. And my mom is here, so she is helping me out with making all of these things, so life is a lot easier right now. In fact, a lot of things that you will see in today's video are going to be prepared by my mom because she's the one taking care of most of my things. So when I have my ashgard juice, I also take a tablet of giloid. I got this from Patanjali store. This again is really good for just putting back strength, for blood count and a lot of other things. So I've been having this every single day. Now the only thing that we need to keep in mind is that once you have this juice, you are not supposed to eat for the next 2 hours. So my breakfast, which is the next meal, sort of starts around 9 o'clock. This is not exactly breakfast, this is like a pre-workout meal for me. So what I have here is a banana shake, and I have to have a banana shake because the medicine that I'm taking for my condition reduces the potassium in the body. So to restore that, I need to have bananas regularly. So I just make my banana shake with cocoa powder, a little bit of honey and some almond milk, and we just blend it up using a quick blender, and that's the shake that I have every morning. And to go with that, I also have a boiled egg. I only have the egg white. I don't like the taste of yolk so much, but if it's a semi-boiled egg or like a soft-boiled egg, then I don't mind having the yolk. So today my mom actually made it into a half-boiled egg, and I decided to have the whole egg together. After I have this meal, I wait for about 30 to 35 minutes and then I do my workout, which I do at home itself, and I'm advised to work out at least a little bit every day to make sure that all my bodily functions are working well. Now after my workout around 10:15 is when I have my post-workout meal. This is sort of like breakfast for me, but again it's not very heavy because I still am pretty full from the banana shake and everything. So for my post-workout meal, I've just been having some roasted makhanas. I absolutely love makhana in any form, any format. So I just roast it with a little bit of ghee, add a little bit of salt to it, and this is it. I just go ahead and have like a big bowl of it. I think this is like having chips, but just healthier, a lot healthier than that. And to go with that, of course, I need to have my protein with my breakfast. So as always, I use the Oziva protein and herbs for women. This has no added preservatives, no unnecessary chemicals. It's completely natural, and it provides 23 grams of protein in one shake without any added sugar. We all tend to ignore our protein intake quite a lot, and it's really important to focus on protein because they are the building blocks of human body. So I always make sure that I take half a scoop of it and I mix it with some water, just give it a good shake, and I always have this as my post-workout meal. This in itself is a pretty filling breakfast for me. Now moving on to my lunch. So lunch I always have around 1 o'clock, and these days for my lunch I am keeping it really simple. I just have some form of vegetable with raita and some rotis, and that is it. It's absolutely delicious and it keeps me full for a very long time. So what I'm making here is cabbage sambharo. This is a Gujarati way of preparing cabbage. So what I'm doing is I'm chopping up the cabbage and some bell peppers and some green chilies into a long thin stripes, and in the pan I'm going to add some mustard seeds and some curry leaves. After the seeds crackle up, I'm just going to go ahead and add in the cabbage, and at the same time I'll add the green chilies as well as the green capsicum, and I'll just quickly give this a stir and mix all the things together. In terms of seasoning, I'm only going to add a little bit of salt and just a hint of turmeric powder, and to make it a little sweet, I'm also going to add some sugar to this. The thing with this particular cabbage sambharo preparation is that you need to make sure that the cabbage and the capsicum and all are a little bit raw at the end. So you don't need to cook it for too long. If you like, you can also add just a little bit of lemon juice to it, which I just did, but you can skip that altogether if you don't like the sour taste. Now to go with that, I'm going to make some rotis. In fact, my mom is going to go ahead and make some rotis because you guys know I am not the best at making rotis. And the atta that I have here is specially made. So this atta is 50% wheat flour and rest of it is cabbage puree. So my mom just pureed up some cabbage and added it to the atta, and this is a great way of eating rotis. Again, I saw this on the Sattvic Movement channel and I thought it was a really good way of eating rotis. I've tried this with palak as well as beetroot, and both the rotis have turned out to be pretty great. So no complaints at all. I would highly recommend you guys to try this out. The rotis also look really colorful. So they're also perfect, I think, for kids who complain about eating the same thing again and again. For my lunch, I have to have 2 rotis because that is the most filling amount of quantity that I can have without getting really hungry in the next hour or so. So my lunch is always 2 rotis with a katori full of sabzi and some raita to go along with it. That's what I'm going to have today as well, and I am going to enjoy this amazing meal with my mom with a lot of conversations about things, random things here and there. Having food with someone that you actually enjoy talking to is, I think, the best way to enjoy the meal itself. Now, right after my lunch, there are 2 things that we always have to do. The first thing is to prepare jeera pani for the rest of the day. So what I do is that in a pot, I take a lot of water, about a liter of water, and I add about 1.5 tablespoons of cumin seeds in it, and then I let the water come to a good boil. And this is the water that I have for the rest of the day, just to ensure that my body is doing well. Like, jeera pani has a lot of different benefits. You guys can Google about this. It's amazing and a great natural healer. So I add this to a thermos and I keep sipping on the warm water throughout the day. This is my water for the next hour or so. And in the same water in which I boiled jeera, I'm going to add just a small sort of teaspoon of triphala powder. Again, I got this from Patanjali. It's very good for cleansing and detoxifying the body. So I have it twice a day, once after lunch and once after dinner every day. I'm supposed to have this for the next 15 days. Now moving on to the next meal of the day. This is not really a meal, just a evening something to ensure that all the naturopathic things that I'm supposed to have in a day are going inside my body. So this is a special kind of yellow tea that my mom found the recipe for, and I am supposed to have this. This is not the tastiest thing out there, but it's actually supposed to be really good for health. So in a pan, again, I'm going to take a little bit of water, just 1 cup of water, and to that I'm going to add some cinnamon. Once the cinnamon comes to boil, I am going to go ahead and add some crushed ginger, a little bit of ajwain, and some curry leaves and some haldi powder. All of these ingredients are, you guys know that they're all very, very beneficial for our body, and together they provide a lot of strength, a lot of detoxification and everything good to our body. So they're all really good in terms of being healthy, but they're also not the best tasting things out there. So this is how I make my yellow tea. You guys can, I will actually link the video where I got the recipe for this in the description box below, so that you guys can know the exact recipe of how to prepare this. So I always have this around 5 o'clock every day, and I just have it as it is. I complain about the taste and everything every once in a while, but it's good for me, so I just have it. Now moving on to the last meal of the day, around 8 o'clock is when I have my dinner. So for my dinner on most days, it is some kind of a soup these days. So today I'm making a fish soup with some vegetables. So I'm going to add a lot of vegetables to a little bit of oil in a pot. So I have some beans here and some carrots. You guys can add beetroot to this. You guys can even add a little bit of baby corn or whatever you like. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drop in 2 fish heads. I think the head of the fish provides the best flavor for the stock itself, but you can use any other part of the fish that you like. Next, I'm going to add some salt and a little bit of black pepper or white pepper powder, whatever you find at your home. And then I am just going to quickly mix this whole thing up and just give it a quick stir for about 1 to 2 minutes. and then I'll pour in about 5 to 6 cups of water into this. I pour 5 to 6 cups of water because this soup is supposed to be for me, my husband and my mom. So 5 to 6 cups of water suffices for 3 people. Once I've added all the ingredients, we're more or less done with everything that has to go into this soup. Now we just have to close the lid and let the magic happen for about next 30 to 45 minutes and the soup will be ready. To go with that, I'm also preparing a little bit of chicken for some added protein. So in some chicken leg pieces, I'm going to add some dahi, a little bit of garlic. For spices, I'm going to add some red chili powder, a little bit of garam masala powder, or you can add some homemade chicken masala as well. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt for flavoring. And that's all that I need for this recipe. We're just going to quickly go ahead and mix this whole thing up, and we can keep it marinated for some time, or because these are very tender pieces of chicken, we can cook them right away. So after the marination is done, I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to a pan, and then on the same pan I will drop in all of these chicken pieces. You can keep the flame of the pan at low heat, and you can let it cook on each side for about 5 to 10 minutes each, and with the lid covered, of course, and your chicken will be ready in no time. You will just need to quickly turn the chicken every once in a while whenever you feel like one side of the chicken is completely done. And yeah, that's all we need to do. So the delicious soup is ready. This soup is very flavorful. If you're somebody who likes the flavor of seafood, this one is a super healthy, really yummy meal to have for dinner. And honestly, I personally find it very filling as well, because there's a lot of vegetables in it. There also is some fish head, so that adds to the protein, also fills you up a little bit. And yeah, I think it's just one of my favorite meals to have these days. And the chicken is also ready after it's completely done. This is how it looks. It's a very dry preparation, so it goes as a really good starter for the soup. And yeah, this is how my dinner looks on most days. And yeah, with that, I think I have wrapped up my what I eat in a day video. This is what I've been having on most days. I know it's a little bit complicated right now. It's more complicated than most of my what I eat in a day videos. But I just wanted to quickly give you guys an update on what I've been eating these days, because I shared about my condition with all of you guys. So I thought this would be a good way to tell you about what is it that I'm doing to take care of myself. And thankfully I have my mom helping me out through all of this. So things are working out pretty great at the moment. And yeah, with that I am ending this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you next time. Bye.